Okay, today I'm reviewing the Bosch washing machine. It's the Bosch WAT24420GB, and here it is. First, I think we will talk about the appearance of the washing machine. It's a standard size, so it's fitted in well here. We actually had the guys come and disconnect our old one and reconnect this new one for us, which was very handy, as we're not that technical. Now, the one thing I would say is it does curve in at the top, so you can see here from the base it's flat against the cupboard, but where it curves in, it kind of has a bit of a funny look, so it kind of doesn't fit in well with the rest of the kitchen, which is quite square, but I'm sure we'll learn to live with that. Now, just looking at some of the standard things first, we've got a 8 kilo drum, so a nice big drum that's going to fit a lot of washing in. Once the door is closed, it's really easy to open, so if you've got any problems like arthritis or anything like that in your hands, you just pull. There's no buttons or anything to press. So you can see it's a nice big drum in there. It's got an LED display there for all of the functions and a dial for choosing what wash we're actually going to be putting on. The drawer here, again, no buttons or anything, nice and easy to pull out. And in here we have a measuring guide for any liquid detergents. That just goes in there and it has the different measurements on there. And then we've got pre-wash and also powdered fabrics. Another great thing I love with this one is you can literally push this button here and the whole drawer comes out, making it nice and easy to clean, so there's no dirt or washing machine scum left behind, and it's easy to apply back as well. Okay, so these are some of the settings that we've got on here. If we just go straight on, there's no on or off button. We just come off of the off there. And you'll see the LED display get ready to work. So cottons will be probably one of the most commonly used ones. And what we can do here, I'm just going to focus in a little bit better, is change different categories. So it's a really great feature. You can actually change every wash to suit the load of laundry that you've put in. So we can change the temperature if there's any particular delicates in there that need to go on a lower wash. And we just bring that right down to a cold wash. And the speed as well, 1200 RPM is the highest it goes. And if you just keep pushing, it does reduce. Finished in, so if you want to delay the wash, you can make sure that it's going to be finished within 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and that's got an up to 24-hour delay. Speed and economy wash, you will get the same results at the end of whether you use the speed or the economy. And the main difference is, of course, with speed, your wash is done a lot quicker, but it's not as economical, so it does use a lot more energy. It depends on how quick you need your clothes. We've got reduced ironing on there as well, sort of does what it says on the tin. And then we've got the start button there. Another great feature, if you've got children or even grandchildren that come around the house and they like to push buttons or dials, if you just push these two buttons here together for 3 seconds, you'll see a little key symbol come up. There we go, and that's the child lock, and you just another 3 seconds to take that off. Okay, so you've got your cottons. This is a really great one, super quick. So you can see on there it's showing that there's a 30-minute wash, but if you actually then go on to use the speed function, that brings it down to a 15-minute wash, and you do get the same result as you would with a 30-minute, but as I said before, it just uses more energy. You've got the drum clean on there as well, which is just after so many uses, if you feel it needs a clean, you can pop that on. leave the drum empty and just put in half the amount of detergent that you would normally, and then that's going to make sure that everything comes out as it did on your first wash. There is a duvet option, but I would say really you're only going to get a single duvet in there. So many options on there. The Allergy Plus, which is a great one as well, in particular if you've got anybody with allergies and sensitive skin, which we do have in the house, so that's one that gets used. Another great feature on here is you've got your start and reload button, which also acts as a pause button. So if you have just found a pair of socks that didn't make it to the wash, what you can actually do is pause the wash and it comes up with the symbol. If the symbol disappears, then that means it's okay to open the door and add any items that you've missed in. If the symbol stays, it's a symbol, it's a circle representing the washing machine drum, and then like a piece of clothing going into it. So if that stays, then it's too late, and you'll have to wait until the next wash. So that's really great if you kind of have somebody that turns around and says they've got something halfway through the wash. It also has a sensor within it which measures the load, so it's almost like a scale, I guess, and that measures whether you've put a half load in. There's no button to push, it recognises that itself, and that will then adapt the water consumption, so that, as well as protecting your clothing, that's going to also keep it very economical as well. Now just looking down here for any water blockages that you might get if the washing machine for any reason decides it's not going to work because there's a blockage. It's quite simply, you just remove that. Again, there's no buttons or anything, so it's really easy if you do have any problems or functions with your hands. It's got, unusual to any machine we've had before actually, it's got a little tube here, so it makes it much easier to release the water. You just pop the cap off and then you can get a bowl or something to pour the water into. And then replace that back into its little socket there. And then what you'll do is you'll just unscrew this cap here, and then you'll find out whether it's a baby sock or a paper clip or whatever it is that's causing the blockage. And then that cap just easily goes back on as well, just like that. So I'll say that overall it's definitely one of the best washing machines we've had. Completely economical. It's got an A+++ rating, so very economical. It's got a 10-year manufacturer warranty, and as well you do get your forms to register for your 2 years parts and labour warranty as well on there. Your normal books with all the information in about all the categories. So it's self-explanatory and it's so easy to use because it does just have the dial. There's not a button on the machine actually, and it's very easy to clean, so it means that every wash up until the last one is going to be as good as the first one.